looking for something. A new way, a new understanding, a connection, some comfort. You've got questions, and Light on Living puts the spotlight on all the answers so you can shine. Lift and lighten the load of life's challenges and learn simple and easy ways to live a healthy, happy life. You'll gain insight and start to see things in a new way that motivates you. You're invited to hear new, see different, and feel more as Lisa shines the light on living.
Hello, everyone. If you've stayed on from just our past show or you're joining us, you are here with Light on Living. I am Light Coach Lisa, holistic nutritionist and life coach. I'm here to help you lighten the load of life challenges. And right now, this is why we're doing this very special exclusive interview, because there are some challenges going on and we need to help lighten the load for everybody around here. I'm bringing to you, well, actually, let me just start with saying this. It was brought to my attention that somebody has been out there doing some fantastic healing work in the world and working with some natural resources. However, there's been a little bit of a shakeup to actually find out if this is a good thing for us or not a good thing for us. This is all about raw water. Now, I have to admit that it wasn't something that was in my field. I wasn't really thinking about it or knowing about it, but this has been quite the issue has come up. We've got, and I hope I don't destroy your name, I'm so sorry, but we've got Seth Leaf Pruzansky. I hope I did well there on that one.
Perfect.
Goodness. Oh, good. Well, I'm so glad that you're here because we've been chatting through social media. That's how I heard about you, found about actually Robin. Oh my goodness, Robin, one of our guests earlier, the happiness wonderful lady. She connected us, and when I heard that there was some controversial going on about this raw water, I wanted to learn more about it. So I myself don't have an exact opinion, but I wanted to be able to allow you a platform to share what's going on, what is the issue, what are people saying, and the truth and the energy about water. So welcome, Seth, to this exclusive interview.
Oh, thank you, Lisa. I appreciate that so much. Thanks for taking the time to do this. This is
my pleasure. Yeah, I know, and this isn't the most lighthearted. This is your business. This is what your belief is, your thing. So share with us a little bit. Raw water. What are you doing with raw water? What is it, and why is it so important to you?
Well, interestingly, raw water is a term. It's funny, we actually own the trademark for it, and we had a product in 2009 that we put out there, but we just decided not to go with it just because it doesn't, I felt like it doesn't fully represent what it is that we in particular offer to the world. And so I rebranded it and called it Tourmaline Spring, which is actually way more appropriate because where I live in the state of Maine, Tourmaline is the state of Maine gem, the area where this incredible spring that we preserved for future generations is right in the heart where all of these gemstones and crystals come out of. So it was just a perfect name to kind of explain the geologic history of this source. And so the water that emerges from this natural spring, I mean, this is a centuries old, one of the most historically documented, oldest natural springs in the United States. And my friend and his parents have bought this property. They have preserved it for future generations. They prevented a few of the biggest multinational corporations in the world from getting this property and ruining it forever by drilling holes into it. And they call them boreholes, which is basically like sucking the water out of the ground. And, this is a true sacred source. And it's funny because people, mainstream people make fun of that. But every single one of them who has come up to this source and seen it is immediately humbled because it's like, it's sadly in this day and age, most people don't really even know the difference between a natural spring and a stream. That's what's crazy about this media attack is many people think that we're advocating drinking out of a pond or a stream, and it's like, no, not even close, But a true natural spring is a phenomenon. And in our case, it is the hydrogeologists, the water chemists, the people who have studied this source call it a rare geologic phenomenon. And the reason is, well, there's a million reasons for it, but essentially, the water is filtered by Mother Nature to a degree that no human machine can replicate. It's naturally filtered in a way that it emerges out of the ground free of every man-made and natural chemical contaminant there is. So, it's sacred because most people don't know what a spring is. It's like when you see a real prolific spring like this, it's like seeing a small natural wonder of the world. It's that significant of an experience, much less drinking out of it. So,
first of all, thank you for preserving, or being part of, and for preserving that, because a lot of us, we don't think about or pay attention to, once something's gone, it's gone. We always think, oh no, we can get that. If you delete something on the computer, you can somehow retrieve it. But no, this is not the situation. And so I'm really happy that you highlighted one thing I didn't know, that the gentleman who owns, they purchased the land. This is their land. They bought it, not just, they preserved it, but they own this. So this is, if in fact you're having a business from it, it's from resources off their land. So they most certainly can have a business of this. This is normal.
Yeah, and there's this whole thing, against bottled water and against the privatization of water and all that. But people who, and I would be somebody who would be more inclined to take that position in a way, but it's not objective enough. It's not a perspective that is really going to contribute to improving our world, because we live in a day and age when corporate America, the international corporations there are buying up any good, amazing, natural thing there is, and either keeping it, shutting it down, or preventing others from getting it. So bottled water isn't going anywhere. Water is about to become one of the greatest and most important issues of our time. And most human beings have been in the dark about the reality of water, the anomalous properties of water, to a degree that it's really staggering, which is really quite insane when you consider that we are water creatures, each and every one of us. Water is more important to us than food. I know so many people who are so focused on food and nutrition and health from that perspective, yet they really don't know a lot when it comes to water. So it's
we need the water. We need the water to grow the food, to water the animals. I mean, cows go through so much water. My goodness. I'm going to play devil's advocate just for a tiny sake here. What if somebody's out right now? I'm going to call it attacking what you're going through right now. What is so unhealthy and unsafe then about municipal water, or the other kind of water? Let's call it. I know why it's unsafe. There's other reasons, but meaning in your world, in your vision of even being healed, if our bodies are taking in treated water, is there a danger to that?
Look, the reality is anybody can do the research and see. Even the EPA states on their website that the time to fix America's infrastructure, where all the tap water comes through, is now. The Flint, Michigan crisis that we experienced isn't a one-off. The EPA on their website states it's going to take $384 billion to replace the infrastructure that this country alone has going through it. So most of this infrastructure is 50 to 100 years or older. It's really, really old. Some of it was put in when Lincoln was president. And there's thousands of lead pipes out there right now. The EPA states this. You can see it right on their site. So tap water being treated is a necessity because a lot of the sources from where this water is derived from, it's a greater threat to not treat it than to treat it. However, are there any chemicals that you personally like? Because I know I don't.
No, exactly.
I'd rather prefer it's kind of a weird question, right? But it's true. Eating organic food, unprocessed natural foods as close to nature, that matters to a lot of us who care about our bodies and care about our health. Yet when it comes to water, not everyone has really kind of made that conversion yet. They haven't, fit it into their equation. So.
There you go. With for me, the biggest thing I always think about is how many other people's prescriptions am I consuming if I'm drinking water? It's because, it's all going there. It's all being filled. So I'd rather the much more pure, filtered, and more natural. Now, if we could just touch on this, especially when you say more natural, okay, so we're filtering the water more naturally. Why does that matter if we look at our conscious level, our healing ourselves? Why does it matter how naturally our water is filtered?
Okay, this is where we start getting into the really profound, anomalous properties of water. And I just have to make a shout out to an expert water researcher. She's a researcher of physics who knows this stuff inside and out and can cite many studies that if people read about it would blow their mind. Her name is Dr. Carly Newday, and she wrote a book called Water Codes, and she's done a bunch of other stuff too. But when you look at water, water contains memory. It's one thing that they say. Literally, homeopathy is an example of this, where you take just a trace of a substance, you put it into the water, and the water retains the essence or the vibratory signature of what was once placed in it. Then whenever that particle or particulate matter that was originally put in is removed, the water still holds the quote-unquote memory of what was once placed in it. Like I said, the entire thing is homeopathy. That's what it is based upon. But there's been a lot of scientists who have taken this deeper and deeper and really gone into how profound of a concept this is. So when you think of it in that term, water that is at surface level, because there's a few different types of water. There's surface water, there's groundwater, and then there's deep underground water, deep aquifer water. So surface water has been exposed to everything that our modern industrial age can subject to it, has been subjecting to it. Groundwater, which is water that's below our feet, it's seeped into the ground, it's in the water table, it's more purified based upon the geographical region that it's localized in, and depending on the type of rock or gravel or sand or whatever's there, this acts as a filter. That's what Brita filters are. That's what all these filters are. They're actually made of these earth elements that filter it out. But then there's water that is deep, deep in crystalline rock aquifers under the ground that have been completely shielded from before any of man's influence on this planet. And the memory of that water, of course, obviously, it needs to be tested to prove this, but this is water that has been imprinted with nature, with, the cosmos, with reality, because the natural world is what truly is natural. It's what nature is. And so really it's a common sense kind of thing. Do you want to drink naturally pure water that has been imprinted with nature, with Mother Nature, over a process that's filtered it and taken thousands and thousands of years? Or do you want to drink, artificially purified water that has been influenced with man's machines and contamination and things? It's, it's kind of a common sense thing in many ways.
I love that
you
actually
feel the difference. That's what's amazing.
Yes, when you say the water's been influenced, I love that you're specifically highlighting that, because I think that's where we talk often about, our energy. Oh, I'm standing beside this person and they have a negative vibe or positive vibe. It's the energy, right? So that's what you're trying to share and educate people, to letting them know that the very water is holding its imprint, and it is an influence on our body, for our health, for our mindset, for how we grow and what we do. And can you invite everybody, if they want to follow this story, because I want them to, there's so many resources that you've offered that people can read and learn and find out. And also even, you're still selling the Tourmaline Spring water as well, correct? Or has that been stopped?
Absolutely. It's created a global controversy that at first it's still really negative. I mean, there's so many of them out there, but now finally those who are being objective, because everything that's come out on the media has been by, I'm like, where is the journalistic integrity here? Because there has been none on display. However, as a result of all the negativity, journalists with integrity have stepped up to the plate, and they've asked the hard questions, and they've done their research. And what they're finding and what they're discovering through these interviews with me is something very profound. They're like, whoa, we got this wrong. So no, Tourmaline Spring is doing really well, and it's starting to really catch on. We haven't made $1 million yet or anything, but people really, really get how significant this is. So
is that where they would go to? Please do. Yes.
Say that again.
I was going to ask you to send them, make sure we know where to send people so they can research more, but also please, share what you're going to say.
Yeah. So Tourmaline Spring, Tourmaline Spring, singular. It's not two springs. It's just tourmalinespring.com, because it's one source. And you can go to my blog and research a bunch of stuff there, or you can go to our Facebook page. But I was going to make a point earlier when we were talking about water memory. So the most important water memory there is our bio water, because our body is made up of water. When people have negative thoughts, when they get angry, when they kind of divulge in a negative kind of pessimistic outlook on the world, that literally affects the memory. It imprints itself upon the very water in our physical bodies, and it's imprinted in there. It's the same thing with our mind. Like if you keep thinking negative, repetitive thoughts, you get stuck in this mental kind of trap. You not only create neural networks in your brain, but you literally create this imprint upon the water of your body. And that's literally very, people have to realize how important it is to be in a loving state, to do self-care, to emanate love, to teach others how to coexist harmoniously with one another. Because, when you hold a grudge or think negatively about the world or others, you're not really hurting them. You're hurting yourself ultimately. Because, again, we are water creatures. 70% of our body by molecular weight is water. 80% of our brain, 90% of our blood, and 99% of the water in and around our cells is water, but not just any water. It's highly structured bio water. It's profound. It's amazing.
I love that you shared that. In fact, I have to say, I'm so thirsty right now because we're talking about it. But I was like, oh, gosh, I need water. But you know what? And the best thing to leave everybody with right now is that we want to be in the flow. And that's why we're doing this. It's about water. It's about the quality of water. It's about the energetic state and the bio state of the water in our own bodies and then what we're consuming. But as you even mentioned, from the deep waters, because it's Mother Earth. This is our Earth. This is our planet. We live here. We grow our food from here. We're on it. And I would like to invite everybody just to find out more about it. Like, this is just you. You're starting up from scratch. You have no idea about quote-unquote raw water, but we're going to focus on Tourmaline Spring. Check out all the information that's being shared and just learn more about it from you, Seth, right? And for themselves, because this is global, as you mentioned. If we could do the final invitation where the best place is to come learn about you. And I want to, Sarah, this is why I was extra curious about this. My birthstone is tourmaline. It's opal. And I remember being taught when I was little, because my mom gave me an opal ring, and she said, no, you be careful because this is a high content of water and it can crack very easily, break. And that's how I actually learned about tourmaline and water content when I was really young, just because of the opal birthstone.
Yes. It's funny. October, right? You must be
Yes. Yeah, Libra. So, everybody, please, if you, Seth, could you share with us where we want to send people just to learn more about this and support? And if they want to buy the water and try it out from you, just let us know where to go.
Great. Yeah, that's Tourmaline Spring, TOURMALINE Spring, SPRING.com. And could I say one last thing
Sure.
before we go here?
Absolutely.
Okay. Two things, and I'll try to do it really quick. One, our water has been tested for over a decade. It's been sold mostly untreated for over 140 years. It's that, most people drink wells in Maine where we live. Our water has been comprehensively tested top to bottom for every single man-made contaminant and pollutant and natural contaminant or pollutant for the past 15 and a half years, and we post all of these on our website. So that's available. And also, this is what I want to say. I'm doing what I do because business is what is really making a very destructive impact on our world. The way big business and industry has had an impact on our world is really, really destructive. So my motive, my initiative is to realize that small business can work within the systems in place, no matter how imperfect they may be, to begin to form a better way. And that's what I do. This business model is a model that represents the new wave of consciouspreneurs, those who are truly committed to putting profit aside and to put that profit that they would normally put in their pocket or put into a big giant house or car and put it back into the business to create other structures that educate people, that enlighten them, that help them see that, look, as individuals, as a society, and as a species, it's imperative that those of us who are willing and able can create business structures that are more in alignment with nature than this clunky, mechanistic kind of way that business has been going for the past, since the Industrial Revolution. So that's what Tourmaline Spring really is. And we've done everything right from day one with the most incredible plans to improve it every step along the way.
Well, I am so grateful that you were able to just come and share what you have, what's been going on, and what's going to come, because I love that you involved the business models as well. I think that's perfect. So we are hitting everything from the conscious level to the bio level to the, business. So thank you, Seth, so much for joining us. I will be posting the links on my social media as well. So Lisa Berry, or you can go to Light on Living or OMTimes, and we'll get everybody educated. They can make their decision from there, and they can energetically feel what's right. So thank you so much, Seth. I really appreciate your time and you coming on to share with us.
Oh, thank you, Lisa. Anytime. Thank you.
Okay, well, we'll talk to you soon. Thank you, everybody, for listening, and we will catch you this Thursday for Light on Living, Dating Your Diet version. Okay, bye, everyone.